Siemi family, Siemi. All praises to the Most High Yah. All praises to Yahuwah, Yeshua, HaMashiach. Hallelujah. All praises to, the Messiah. The Messiah. All praises to Yesiah. Hallelujah. I pray the Urak, Mawana Shimi is with us all. I pray everybody's having a blessed time, and I'm here to bring another testimony. It's testimonial time. It's testimonial time. I'm here to bring another testimony, and it's funny how things work, because I remember years ago of having this experience and just always wondering what it meant. I kind of figured what it meant, but I always wondered what it meant. And, things get revealed in time. Sometimes things take time for you to have the full understanding and knowledge. There's a word, a passage that says, you may not understand what I'm doing now, but later on you will, because the Most High is always moving, before time, and he's always giving us revelation, knowledge before time. Hallelujah. We know Amos 3:9 says that Yahuwah, hallelujah, or Adonai, he will do nothing unless he reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So there's things that are revealed, in certain times. And the prophets are supposed to go and give out the warning to the people. Praises to the Most High. And this is what I'm doing today. So, the word also says that there's nothing new under the face of the sun. So a lot of things that we see and we believe that are new, it actually is not. A lot of technologies that we see now that we think are new, they're not new. If you ever do, I don't know if you guys believe in UFOs, but if you ever observe or study a little bit about UFOs, you'll see immediately that their technology is way ahead, way advanced. So which means that we're actually behind in technology. And nothing's new under the sun. What was there before, that is being revealed now is something of old. It really is nothing new. You'll have archaeologists that will go into cities like Atlantis, going to Egypt, going to Samaria, going to pyramids of Giza, going to pyramids in Mexico, and they'll find certain little keys of knowledge, and they use this to cross over to portals. So they start doing their research on how they used it, and the technology in ancient books, and all of a sudden you see it in movies. You see a lot of these things in movies, and you see it in movies before you start seeing it in real life. And you say, well, where did these directors get the ideas from? Because they read these articles of these archaeologists that would find these things and post articles, and say, hey, this is what they use. They use this scepter and this key to cross over into different dimensions and this, that, and the third. So basically, that's just what it is. There's nothing new under the face of the sun. So when these things are coming out and men are astonished, like, oh my God, like, this is incredible. We understand that this is nothing new. Like, this been old. I could tell you go watch a certain show and you see everything that's happening now is in these shows, because there's nothing new. What was done then shall be done now. What was done in the past shall be done over again. So let me get into this quick testimonial about, my dark journey into the dark side of the metaverse. Before even the metaverse was even a thing. The metaverse was a thing like 2 weeks ago. It's already taking the world by storm, but I'm going to give you guys my testimonial, my journey into the dark side of the metaverse, you know, and that's basically what the metaverse is. It's just a dark realm. So we got to understand that, you know, the virtual realm, the metaverse realm, the spiritual realm, the realm we live in, earth realm, they're just different forms of realities. That's why the word realm, you have in the word realm, REALM, you have the word real, REAL. It's just a form of reality. You know, virtual reality is just a form of reality. It's a realm, you know. It's, you know, just like, you know, where the Most High in the third heavens is where he sits. It's a spiritual realm. It's a reality. These are forms of realities. We in earth realm. And this proves, just by the words alone, it proves that the spiritual realm exists. And so some people are conscious to it. Some people choose to remain unconscious to it. But you can see, you can do, and I'm going to talk about this more after the vision. You know, so I want to say this year that I had this experience was before, hold on, I gotta get this year right. When I had this experience, this had to be 2017. Yeah, so 2017, I was in Massachusetts. I was working a security job. I was working a security job at that time. That time I was living a short little while in my auntie's basement. I had just moved back for a little while. Had a whole situation that caused me to move back. And around this time, I was in deep prayer. It was a pleasant time for the most part. I was in deep prayer, and I remember I was asking the Most High for a vision. I was just asking for a vision, like just show me something, just show me, like every single day. And I was working security, and I was in Boston, so I was working in security at that time, and I was working at the Boston Convention Center. And in this convention center at that time, they was having they have different conventions. And around this time, they was having the technology convention. And so they would bring all this, you know, all these like cars and all these different type of technologies and all that. And basically we would station, we would just walk around and like, we just check people tickets. And, you know, that's what we would do at the conventions. It don't matter, car shows, whatever. You know, so this was a technology convention. It was pretty cool. I can't remember everything, but I remember it was a pretty cool convention. You know, technology is always cool. You know what I mean? So, I remember I was working and I was walking around, and there was this big machine like right in the middle of the convention. And this was like the virtual reality machine, right? And people would sit in it and they put the goggles on, and you know what I'm saying? And you know, I remember I would be walking by it, and I'd be in the distance, and I'd be like despising it, like, oh, look at this evil thing. You know what I'm saying? Look at this evil thing that's getting ready to take the minds of the people. Like I would walk by it and just not feel comfortable around it. Like, look at this thing. You know what I mean? You know, just another form of distraction, another form of just being out of touch with reality, out of touch with nature. You know, that's what all these things are. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, look at this thing, whatever. So around this time, you know, I'm praying. That same night, I go home, I'm praying the Most High, like, you know, Most High, please, like, you know, send me a vision. You know what I'm saying? So that night I go home, I go to sleep, I fall asleep after my prayers. Deep sleep. I'm passed out on the couch, falling deep sleep. And then I see myself, I'm like in this room, and there's this man who's talking to me. Like I'm in this like dark, kind of like oval type room, and there's a chair in the middle, kind of like a dentist, and there's these all little lights and technology things, and it's like this time, you know, I'm pretty much like I'm unconscious of what's going on. Like I'm not really conscious of what's going on. And, you know, sometimes in dreams you don't really know what's going on. You just kind of going with the flow, like, you know what I mean? Like you just unconscious. So the man is telling me like, it's a tall white man, dark hair, long dark hair, and he's like, you know, he got a hat on, and he's like, kind of like that Mad Hatter hat, that old hat. He kind of looked like Willy Wonka a little bit, you know what I mean? So he's like, he's like, come forward. And then I come forward, and he's like, sit down. And then in the chair, and I sit down in the chair, and he's like, about to do this experiment on me that like he's about to open like my skull, like literally. Right, so he's grabbing these tools, and I'm just like going with the flow, unconscious. And then and then I was like, all of a sudden, like I just had this feeling that like, yo, this dude was gonna kill me. You know what I mean? So he was it's like he was about to do something to me. So I had a feeling like he was gonna kill me. So I kind of like, I snapped out. Like I started to regain conscious, and, you know, I'm like, oh snap, like I'm in a realm, like I'm in a dream realm right now. Like I'm in, you know, because I have these experiences so many times that I automatically know like, oh snap, like this is spiritual warfare. I'm in a combat. Like it's about, we about to get it in. Like it's about to be a battle. So I snap out of it, and I'm like, I took the things off of me. I'm like, you know, whatever they put around, I snap out of it. I jump out the chair, and then I'm like, oh, I know what you're trying to do to me, you know? And then I'm like, you know, I look at him, and I'm like, I rebuke you. I rebuke you, Satan. I rebuke you. I rebuke you, devil. And usually, you know, what happens when, you know, when I slip into these realms and into these dreams, usually what happens when the enemy is exposed, it turns into like they just reveal, they just transform into like this monster beast. So you see them for who they really are, and it turns into like, you know, real spiritual physical combat, like real spiritual physical fighting. Like it turns into like a real altercation. That's usually how it happens. So this time the dude looks at me, and he's like, oh, the devil? And he's like, man, that guy doesn't pay that well. And then I was just like, I was like straight up taken back. Like I was just like, what the heck did he just say? Like, he just said, man, that the devil, he's like, man, that the devil, man, that guy don't pay that well. I was just like, what the heck did he just say? Like, what the heck did he just tell me? Like, so this was like something different. Like, that's when I knew, like, oh snap, like this is not no regular dream. This ain't no regular vision that I'm having. This ain't no regular experience. Like, this is something different. Like, this is something. So I'm like taken back. I'm shocked. And right now I'm fully conscious, and I'm fully gaining consciousness. Like I'm really gaining my consciousness about where I'm at, what I'm doing. And I'm really like, so I start looking around. I'm like, yo, like this ain't no regular dream. Like I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, this is different. This is different right now. So the dude's like, yeah, you know, he starts talking, starts going on, walking around. Yeah, you know, that guy don't really pay that well, and he ain't really like this. I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but he was talking. I'm like, yo, how is this dude? Because this is like this. Like I've had a lot of dreams and visions, and you know, this dude was like very conscious and very aware. He had personality, you know what I mean? It could have been the devil himself, you know what I'm saying? For all I know. But this dude had personality, you know, he was aware, and I was aware that he was aware, but I was so taken back because this never happened to me before, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly is going on. Like, what am I doing here? So then he's like, yo, walk with me. He's like, walk with me. Come on, take a walk with me. So I just start walking with him. So we leave this office, and then we start walking, and all of a sudden, like, I'm in this world, right? I'm in this world where it's like it's dark. I remember looking up in the sky, and it wasn't really a sky. It was like a metal fence or metal gate over the sky, and it was very dark, and it was like kind of like dark, and it was kind of like misty. You know, it was like we was in some type of electrical cage or something. And we're walking, and I'm walking with him, and he's like, yeah, you know, this place. I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but I was just so in shock. Like, this was like, it looked like a city. You know what I mean? It looked like a city, but it was very dark. It was a dark city. There was no sun. I looked at the sky. There was no sun. It was a cage. It was dark. It was like, and the whole time I'm like, what is this place? Where am I? What is this place? You know? And then I start seeing people walking around, and the people walking around giggling, laughing, like, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I would see people walk around, they would be smoking like marijuana, like reefer. And they would walk around, they'd be smoking marijuana, and they're smoking marijuana, and they blowing it. And it was just a lot of people. And I'm like, I'm like, it's like a little town, a little city. And I'm like, what is this place? I'm like, what's going on? Like, what is this? Like, you know, I'm just walking with this dude, and he's just like, we just walking down the street, you know, and I'm just like, I just can't, I'm like speechless. You know, I'm seeing people smoking. I'm seeing people walk around. People are drinking. And, you know, there was one time because I became so curious that when one guy was walking, he was smoking with his friend, and they look kind of funny. Like, they didn't look like they look kind of a little funny, you know, like almost like horses a little bit. Like, they just, some of these people's faces, they just didn't look right. And I remember, you know, these guys was walking, they were smoking, and as they passed by, the tall dude grabbed a blunt, and he started smoking it. So me, out of curiosity, I don't smoke no more. I used to smoke. I used to be addicted to marijuana when I was like 15, 16, you know, for like 3 years, but I don't smoke no more. But I could smell it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I want to try it, not because I want to get high, but I want to see how real this is. So I take it, and I take a puff, and I'm like, oh, like I could feel it through my whole body, and I could feel like my body in on the couch in the living room. Like, I could feel it going through my body. I could feel it. And I'm like, I pass it back. I'm like, oh snap, like, this is real. Like, I really felt that. Like, I really felt that. And like I said, I don't smoke, but it was just out of curiosity, because I wanted to understand what was happening. I wanted to understand where I was and why I was experiencing this, you know? So I'm walking, and then, like, I'm walking by bars, and I'm looking into bars, and people are drinking, and you see women on the poles, like, strip dancing, and people are drinking, and people are smoking. And I'm just like, and I'm looking at this dude, and I'm like, yo, what is this place? Like, what is this? And the people I'm seeing, I keep picking up in my spirit, like, yo, these are real people. Like, it's like my spirit keeps telling me, these are real people. Like, these aren't like dead human beings. These aren't people that's like, that you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that you, like, these aren't fake people. Like, these are real spirits. These are real spirits of people. These are real spirits, souls of men. They're in this place, you know? And I'm just like, but I'm like, how are they here? What is this place? You know, that's why I keep saying, like, how are they here? Like, what is this place? So, you know, we kept walking. And then, you know, we got to the end. So we got to a door, and then here's the thing about this: the whole time when I'm walking through this place, I'm actually looking for the devil. Like, I'm looking for him to rebuke him. I want to rebuke him. I want to go at him. I want to fight him. So the whole time I'm walking through this place, I'm looking for him, because I'm like, yo, we gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta rebuke him. Like, we gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm geared. So I'm looking all around for him. Like I said, I don't know who the dude next to me was. You know what I'm saying? But whatever, he's part of that realm. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm trying to process all of this that's happening at once at the same time. I'm seeing people going inside bars, people stumbling outside of bars, on the floor, drunk, people drinking in the streets. You know, you can see the women in strip poles. You see people in the alleyway. You know what I'm saying? Walking by alleyways, people are having sex. I'm just like mind blown right now. Like, yo, my mind is like blown. You know, like, I'm mind blown right now. Like this is how much of a crazy experience this was, because this was probably a once in a lifetime, like one of those once in a lifetime experiences. Like, I'm mind blown right now. So I'm walking, and then there's like a door at the end, and I get through the door, and there's like a bunch of doors, you know, and I'm just like, what the heck? You know, I just can't. I just walked through this whole darkness city. Like, I just walked through this whole place, like, and I'm just like, what in the world's happening? So, you know, we go through this door, and there's like this alleyway, and there's like a bunch of doors, right? And I open the door, man, and I see this guy. He's like, he got a needle in his arm, you know, some type of needle and some type of electric chip patch, you know what I'm saying, in his arm. And he's just doped out on heroin. I just knew it was heroin. Like, he was just doped out, and he was just like in this room, and he was just like, and I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. And then it's like, I think I was about to leave, and I look at the dude, and he's like, whatever you do, don't ever tell nobody about this place. Don't ever tell nobody about this place. And then, boom, I woke up. That was the last thing I remember. I woke up. And knowing me, knowing that whoever that person was is not part of my realm, you know, it's not part of the kingdom of the Most High. But, you know, the Most High sent me there to see this place. And when I woke up, I was like, what in the world? I started praying, and I started pleading with God. I was just like, please, whatever you do not send me back to this place. Please, whatever you do, please don't send me back to this place. Whatever you do, do not send me back to this place. Don't send me. This was creepy. Like, this was real creepy, man. Like, you know, I was just like, please, like, don't send me back here. You know, I don't know how these people got here, but don't send me back here, you know, because it was straight up lawlessness. Like, it was darkness. It was lawlessness. There was no light. You know what I'm saying? Like, people was just doing whatever. Like, people was just having sex, doing drugs. And it's like, these were souls of men. Like, these were souls of men. And I'm just like, I just can't figure out how they got here. I just couldn't figure out at that time. But when I woke up, all I kept thinking about was this machine, this virtual reality machine that I saw. Like, this was the only thing I could connect, you know, my day to. I was like, the only thing I experienced today was this virtual reality machine. It's the only thing I experienced. And from that experience, you know, I go to sleep. I'm praying every single night for like almost a month straight. And, you know, asking the Most High for vision. And this is the vision that he gives me. I'm like, you know, that's not the vision I was expecting. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what I was expecting. You know, I was expecting to to have some type of good vision, a good vibe, godly vision. I wasn't expecting this. You know what I'm saying? So, and I for a long time, there's certain things that the Most High has shown me, and for a long time, I just don't, like, for long period of times, I just don't understand, like, certain things that He's shown me. But I knew at some point in time I will. I just have to be patient until I have the full understanding of what He's showing me. And man, people, man, this place was, it's like talking about it is bringing it back now. Like, it's really just bringing everything back, like the feelings back. Like, people, man, like this place was, it was darkness. It was darkness. There's no God in this. This place was like the equivalent to hell, because it wasn't it wasn't the hell, the realm of hell, right? Where people are burning and torturing, but it was hell because it was just like there was no light. There was no light there. There was no light in there. It was just straight darkness. It was straight lawlessness. People were literally like, they were literally just doing whatever. And it was like it was without conscience. It's like they knew what they were doing, and they were just engaging into it. Like, they was just free to do whatever they wanted. And, and I just remember that man just threatened me, telling me, like, don't ever tell nobody about this place. You know what I mean? Like, like, he was running this place. He was running this place. And, people, we got to understand what's going on in this world. We can't continue to be blind about what's happening, about the devices of Satan, because this is how he tricks people. He introduces these things, right? And he makes it seem as if it's going to be all beneficial. He makes it seem, he adds, he adds temptations. He adds certain lust to it. The same thing that he did with Eve. Like, you can be all knowledgeable. You can be like the Most High. You can be like God. God just don't want you to be like him. That's why he's keeping all this knowledge from you. And we got to understand that. That's just how he operates. You know what I'm saying? So when these technologies that he's bringing in and he's introducing into this world is nothing new. You know what I'm saying? This metaverse realm already existed. It already been there. You know what I'm saying? So in ancient times, people would access these things through certain different forms of spiritualities and taking some certain different type of drugs, psychedelics, mushrooms, in order to access into the spirit realm. This technology is just giving you that access in the most different type of way. Now, it might seem a certain type of way in the beginning. It might seem like 2D, 3D, just like Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo and all these systems that we used to play, Atari, Nintendo, Sega. Look how these games were. They were just like little 2D games. Then they evolved. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now you see the games on the new PlayStations and new Xbox. You look at these games, and it's like sometimes you can't even tell if you're looking at a movie or not. You can see a basketball video game playing or a football video game playing, and you can't even tell if that's a real life game. You know what I mean? Because that's how much that it advanced. And this little introduction into the metaverse, you know what I'm saying, where you have these little virtual reality meetings and people look like black people, man, that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. Once this thing becomes fully advanced, I mean, you're going to be going directly into a whole new realm. You know what I'm saying? Remember, virtual reality. It's a different form of reality. earth realm, virtual realm, spiritual realm. All these realms are different forms of reality, you know, and that's basically all what it is. So you're going into a different form of reality. Who is behind and who is controlling that reality is going to control your mind, is going to control your reality. And remember what the word says. The word says we are in this realm, we're in this world, but we're not of this world. We're in here, but we're not of this realm. You know, it's a difference. You know what I mean? You have people, it's just like the movie, The Matrix. You have people that were in the Matrix trying to unplug people out of the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? They were in the Matrix, but they were not of the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. Is like this metaverse is just another matrix. That's all it is. It's just another matrix. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you got the word may and trick, right? Because that's what they're trying to do. You know, the devil do these things so that may he trick you into believing that this is the ultimate forms of reality. You know, this is what they're trying to do with mankind, trying to transcend mankind into this next evolution. You know, it's all trying to be like God and trying to be your own God, you know, and doing things that are unnatural, and detaching man from its natural ordinance, which God created him from the ground. Now they want to grow man inside of a artificial tomb, you know, artificial tomb. I didn't say that by accident. I really meant to say artificial womb, but I said artificial tomb. You know what I'm saying? They try to grow man, you know, inside these, you know, outside of natural order. You know what I mean? They try to have you eat things that is outside of natural order. Take things, put things in your body that is outside of natural order, and have you live outside of morale. Have you live outside of natural order? Have you live outside of morale? Living lawlessly, you know, living in sin, because sin is the transgression of the law. So they're trying to have you live outside of morale, outside of morality, outside of natural law. You know what I mean? And they want men to become unnatural and practice things that are unnatural. And they want women to become unnatural and practice things that are unnatural. This is all lawlessness. You know, all lawlessness. So meta, meaning dead, verse, meaning song, you know, like a verse to a song. They created a whole new rhythm of death. You know, and we just gotta understand that. You know what I'm saying? When we in this world, we're not of this world. So I'm praying that this message will reach many, many, many young people that are being seduced. That's the word I'm looking for. Seduced to participate in this new world that they are building. Because it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a matrix that you won't be able to get out of once you get into it. It will trap you. It will trap your mind. We've seen all the movies where people are just like hooked up to these things and they actually going to work, you know, and it looks real. You know, they reality. There's a show on Amazon called Upload. Just check out a little bit of that. I mean, it's just nuts. But that's just all the visions of the devil. You know what I mean? And people are going to work, you know, in these goggles. Yeah, I forgot the name of the movie. But they do got the goggle on. He's going to work. He's seeing his wife. He's doing all of these things, you know, in this real world, you know, and he's this world that he's living in with the goggles on is like this perfect world. And then when he takes the you know, even him, he looks so good, so well, so dressed. But then when he takes the goggles off, he's fat. He's out of shape. He got all types of health problems. He's taking drugs. He's messed up. His house is a mess. His reality is dirty, is a mess. But when he put on this thing, he is spotless. He's clean as a whistle. He's spotless. You know what I'm saying? And you look at him like, man, you've been duped to accept this form of reality. Now you're addicted to it. Now you can't get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Now you can go into this reality and do whatever you want to do. Be whatever you want to be. Everything I was seeing is that's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, people having sex, people doing drugs, or think of try all types of drugs, have the same feelings and not think it's real because it's just your avatar having it, but it's really your soul, your spirit, the souls of men, the spirits of men was uploaded into this thing. That's why they had that show Upload on Amazon, because they was showing you people was uploading. They was creating an app. They created an app called Heaven. And right before you die, you can sign up for this app. They cut your head off and they upload your soul, your spirit, your consciousness into the app. And in this app, you can still, people from the realm of the living can still call you in this app and still have conversations with you. They can still see you while your conscious and soul is in this app, in this fake artificial heaven that Hasatan is trying to create to make you believe, to make the youth believe that his realm, his world is better than this real world that the Most High created. And people are gonna go jump in and upload into these things, upload into these apps, thinking that this is the greater work. They're gonna be thinking that this is the greater work. They all deceived. You know, in this artificial fake heaven, they couldn't even do certain things. They had to wait for updates for them to even have real taste buds. You know what I'm saying? But the spirit realm where God dwells, where the Most High YAH dwells, all of these things are at your presence instantly. All your senses. Even more so than this realm. That realm, which I've even visited that realm, it is more powerful and is more real than this realm. More powerful and more real than this realm. You know what I'm saying? This is just, remember, we are passing through this realm. We are passing through this realm. We are passing through. This is not the end all be all. You know what I mean? And depending the type of life that you live and what you do in this realm, in this form of reality, will determine where you go after. It will determine where you go after. This is why it's a battle for your soul. Because what Satan is trying to do is make sure you don't ascend after you leave this realm. You descend. What he's trying to make sure is that you sell your soul or you lose your soul in the process of searching for life. You know, everybody's reposting the young Dolph who just died. And it was a song where he said, if I sold my soul, will I go to hell? And the answer to that is yes. It's plain. It's in the word. And then you see the dude with the white kids, the white twins with the long dreads, Fly Soldier, going online telling everybody, yeah, I sold my soul, I sacrificed myself. Oh, Young Duff said, if I sacrifice myself, would I go to hell? And then the twins are saying how they had to sacrifice themselves for riches. In this realm, in this world, that's not the final realm. That's not your final world. Remember, the spirits are from God. Spirits are come from God. So your spirit man cannot die. It has to be transferred. You know what I'm saying? It has to be transferred after the flesh has died. The spirit, the soul has to be transferred. And there's only two places it could be transferred: to the land of the living or to the land of the dead, the place of the dead. And that's what they call hell and eternal torment. You know what I'm saying? But where the Most High dwells is in the land of the living. That's why we give praise and honor to our ancestors. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses. Yeah, we give praises and honor to our ancestors, right? And we tell our ancestors, thank you, because why? They're not dead. Our ancestors are alive. They're in the land of the living. Abraham's bosom. Lazarus and Lot. Right? Not Lot. Lazarus and the rich man. The rich man was in hell, and he was watching Lazarus eat and live good in heaven. Lazarus isn't dead. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Most High. Lazarus wasn't dead. Right? Lazarus wasn't dead. Lazarus was eating good while the rich man was in hell, watching Lazarus live in the land of the living, Abraham's bosom. When Christ was at the Mount of Transfiguration, who joined him? Moses and Elijah. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors, they're not dead. They're in the land of the living. And this is the same place. This is the same place that is promised unto all of the Most High's children. Those who follow him and hear his voice. You know, so you have to untune yourself out of this matrix. Because it's playing tricks on you. This is not reality. You've been tripped and duped to thinking that this is reality. And because of that, you have lost your power. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. You've lost your power. Why? Because you let somebody else manipulate your mind to make you believe that you must submit into their authority. So you're giving your power over to them. Just like in the book of Revelation, they say all these nations gave their power unto the beast. Submitting themselves unto the beast and submitted themselves unto the beast system. You look at most of our people nowadays, they've already submitted themselves unto the beast, giving a power over. Your power of choice. Your power to choose. Choose life. Choose death. Choose this day who you may serve. That's your power. Free will. But thinking that you don't have a choice makes you powerless. But knowing that you have a choice and doing something about it makes you powerful. Overcoming against all odds, that makes you powerful. Standing up for righteousness, that makes you powerful. Blowing the trumpet, that makes you powerful. When the whole world says it can't be done, you have to do it this way. You say, no, we're going to do it this way. That's what makes you powerful. Powerful. Power comes with the revelation of knowledge. Revelation of knowledge put into action is powerful. You know, our people, we must become powerful. We ain't going to become powerful in lies, living a lie, because we must know the truth, because it is the truth that will set you free. The truth will set you free indeed. The truth is powerful. This matrix, this realm, this world is nothing but lies. Once you realize everything is based off lies, that's when you will start getting some real understanding. And once you have the fear of God, that's the beginning of all understanding. So, brothers and sisters, I plead with you guys, please share this video, because I've done my part, and I continue to do my part of warning people about what they're about to get into before they actually go make their decisions to get into it. But the deeper you get into this stuff, the harder it is for you to get out. Throughout my years, I've had many experiences in with the spirit realm. And I say this in so many videos. It is not a very nice place. You know, outside where God dwells, these realms are super, super dangerous, super evil. You don't want to get caught on the wrong side of this. I mean, what I experienced was darkness. It was hell. It was death. It was the Grim Reaper. It was everything that has to do with the dead. This place was straight up dead. There was no life. There was no, and when I mean there was no life, there was no light. There was no light in this place. It was utterly wickedness. Unimaginable wickedness. And for some people, this is cool to think you can go into a place and do whatever you want, but you don't understand. That's death. That's death. That's dead. You know, that's how the spirit of the dead is. That's their doctrine. For you to do what thou wilt, do whatever you want, do whatever you please, do whatever you desire, thinking that there's not going to be a consequence for that. Every single thing that you sow in this world, in this realm, any realm, you shall reap. So if you sow into things that are dead, you sow into death, you shall reap that. So that's my message. You know, I really pray that, you know, we could push this message, push this video forward to help wake up some of the youth, because they need to understand what this thing really is and where it's going. Don't look at it for what it is now. Look what it could be. That's where the danger is. Look what it's gonna be. That's where the true danger is. Until next time, peace and blessings.